Welcome into the Verdin Verdict Sports Show. I'm your host, Jacob Verdin. I got my guy G with me. Got a special guest, Matt Flynn, in the building.
Yeah, what's up, fellas? How we doing?
Appreciate you, bro.
All right. No, yeah, appreciate y'all. All right, y'all got a good little location over here. We're around the corner. So you'll see you're looking at Texas Tech, the Leprechaun back there. Tailgating. Look at the whose Packers duffels that? All right, respect. Right, rock and roll.
Come on.
There we go.
I'm going to ask you about
I don't mean many Packers and LSU fans, so.
Right.
It's a weird combination.
Well, I'm a Michigan fan.
Okay, all right.
I always did root for LSU, but I always was a Michigan fan growing up because they played on in Louisiana. They played on TV every Saturday morning.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
but I'm a Saints fan though.
That's right. It's kind of like how Hester was a Braves fan because he watched them on TBS every day.
Braves fan
That's
too.
right. There you
Yep.
go.
Yeah, I got into the Packers because of that the stock seller.
All right.
And they sold the shares and all that. And that's a nice novelty piece.
I'm a current stockholder as well. On the back it says this: you cannot resell this ever. It's not real stock, but you know it's a certificate.
Hey, you get to say.
That's
you get
right.
to go to the meetings,
That's
whatever
right.
the case. Now
Absolutely.
you're part of
I'm a proud stockholder. I gave one to my dad too. So yeah.
That's what's up, man. With the season approaching, man, exciting times. LSU getting ready to go embark in that jersey at the other Death Valley down there in Clemson. We've been talking about a lot of different variables that's going to go into this game, bro. We asked Jacob, what his keys was to the game, but I'm gonna ask you. You've been a quarterback. What have you been seeing from Garrett Nussmeier going into that second year? I know he had some highs, he had some lows last year, but going into this second year in that offense under Joe Sloan and Coach Keller, what do you see him doing this year, especially in that first game where everybody been saying that they can't get it done?
I don't like to refer to it as the other Death Valley. It's the little Death Valley.
I like it.
That's right. All right, so we'll start with Nuss. So Nuss is a guy that everybody has started to see like how good this dude really is. Like he's a player. He's a guy that plays at a large portion of last season at an NFL level. And when I say that, I'm not talking about like arm strength. When a lot of people talk about like that's an NFL throw right there. They're like, okay, that's a big poster out, or he's throwing a 25-yard comeback. Like they think of arm strength when they think of NFL type throw. That's not what it is at all. When you talk NFL type throws, it's throwing with anticipation. It's throwing somebody open, making a throw that when you look at, like, that view on TV copies, it's the camera right behind the quarterback.
Yep.
It's when you get that view and he makes a throw, and from just the average football fan, they're like, that guy didn't look open when he threw that.
Right.
But when the ball got there, he was open. So it's throwing with anticipation, throwing with on time, and throwing your guys open. Because, look, defenses, it's hard to stop good offenses because it's hard to play defense. For one, because there's a lot of rules that help the offense, and then the offense knows where they're going. You don't know where they're going, so you're guessing a lot. So if you have a good quarterback that plays at that level, and you see it time and time again at the college level of a guy that plays quarterback that mentally and physically has taken that next step, and he's ready for the NFL, but he's still playing college defenses. And I think you've seen that in spurts with Garrett Nussmeier. I saw that his first year at LSU. I had gone to a scrimmage in Death Valley to watch. I think it was preseason. It was training camp. I watched the scrimmage. I was there to see another guy, another quarterback, one of the top recruits in the country. I was like, all right, this guy's good. Okay, good throw. But then I looked over. My head looked over to the right, and I was like, but who's that guy?
Right.
Because that was Nussmeier. Just making great throws, fresh out of high school, pulling the trigger on stuff that you can't coach. But like I said, most young players especially, they won't throw the ball until they see a guy open. So they wait till he gets open, then they throw it, which in college you can get away with, but sometimes you can't because it ends up being late at that point. A guy jumps, so you throw a pick. So I think year 1 to year 2, there's huge jump. It's like that's the biggest jump you'll ever make as a quarterback. I always talk about it in NFL terms. From NFL quarterback going from his rookie year to his second year is the biggest jump he'll ever make in his progression as a quarterback. If he doesn't make it, it's probably not going to happen. Right. Like, you'll always get progressively better, but that year 1 to 2 is the biggest gap that you jump over. So when you talk about in terms of starting in college at year 1 to year 2, I would expect him to get a whole heck of a lot better. Brian Kelly said it yesterday in his press conference. He expects that jump to be similar to what Jaden Daniels did from year 1 to year 2. Now it'll look a lot different.
Yeah,
different
for sure.
skill set.
For sure.
But the sky's the limit for him. And he carries around. He says the right things.
He does.
But he carries a confidence with you that is not a fake confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can spot fake confidence a mile away. You got to tell everybody how good you are.
Yep.
You got to do this. You got to do that. You're like, oh yeah, I'm bad. But he just exudes that confidence. And I think all three of them really did a good job yesterday of representing our school well.
I agree.
What I wanted to get into, because I think the average fan don't understand this part of it. Coming to the line pre-snap, getting the protection lined up right, sliding the right way or whatever. How difficult that is, and when you coming in as a first year starter, to be able to understand, find out where the safety is at, making sure your protection set right. Your running back, make sure he's doing the correct thing in pass pro. Understanding how many timeouts you got left in the game, because I think that's something that's being forgotten when you're going through the midst of these things. And I know Brian Kelly talked about it a couple of times throughout the season where he felt like Garrett they have a whole bunch of timeouts, and he doesn't understand that you need to keep some of them in your back pocket.
Yeah. It's the game management and clock management. Yeah, clock management is different than game management. Clock management is one thing. At the end of the day, these guys are still 20, 21, 22 years old, right? So it's funny that they play a sport that so many hundreds of thousands of people's happiness depends on decision making of a 20-year-old, right? So, but that's what makes it great. That's right. So there's things that people can always learn, right? Get better, and improve. But Garrett, coming from a background where his dad was a coach, certainly helps from reading defenses. Now, clock management and how to manage the operation of a game is something that you can't really teach until you have to do it.
Exactly.
Like calling a play in practice is different than calling it in the game. Little things like, if we're subbing and there's some confusion in the personnel subbing, all right, I don't want to have 12 in the huddle, so I need to just back up.
Right.
Let me just back up like 3 or 4 yards out of the huddle till my guys figure it out. It's just like little operational things. Whispering when you break the huddle, whispering to the running back, confirming that he knows what he's got, what kind of check down he's got. Just little things like that. But, from a reading defense perspective, I mean, that stuff's just all in your preparation. That's in your game planning. That's in your scouting. And he's got the ability, you talk about quarterbacks getting in the zone. What does the zone mean? That's hard to explain what the zone is. You get into this part where the game slows down. When you start a game, when young guys in the beginning of games, you usually got kind of tunnel vision. It's like, everything's blacked out around you on your peripherals, and you see kind of what's in front of you. You complete a pass, it widens a little bit. You complete another pass, widens a little bit more. You have success, a guy running back busts a 35-yard run, it widens a little bit more. You just get more comfortable and in the flow. And then all of a sudden, things are going really well. You're seeing the entire field. Now, some guys have the ability to get in the zone immediately or quicker. And some guys have the ability to shrink it back down. Incomplete pass, it shrinks. Interception, it shrinks. That's just a mentality that quarterbacks, some get there faster.
I think you can relate your first game start, you at the zone.
Right. Mm-hmm.
400 yards?
Yeah, 480.
Yeah, 480.
There was 1,000 total yards that game passing. Matt Stafford at 520. 4A, exactly 1,000. Wild.
And being against the Lions is that much better.
I know. And at the time, it wasn't the standard Lions. Lions were not great back then. But that year, they actually made the playoffs. Right. It was a playoff team. And they were fighting for seeding, too, that year. So I can't remember what they were. I think they were trying to fight for a 5 seed instead of the 6. So they were still playing. We got them.
We were talking about Nussbar, and I feel like y'all got some similarities also. When you were in that room with Matt Mott, with JaMarcus Russell, what did you take away from them, and what were you able to, mold your game after being under them?
Oh, good question. I don't know if I was mature enough at that time to really look and try to mold my game after anybody. You take pieces when you're looking at quarterbacks and trying to see what they do well. You take things when I was in Green Bay, I modeled my game. Well, I didn't model anything after Aaron Rodgers, but I watched what he did well, right? And I said, okay, what are the things that I can put into my style of play? And so footwork was a big thing. So my footwork changed. I was a better player 1 year in the NFL than I was like 4 years leading up to in college. Right? It's just that much improvement. I don't know if it's more mature or whatever it was, but yeah, certainly. I go in and Matt Mopp was a starter my first year. JaMarcus and I were the same age, so we were both redshirted in 2003. But he was a great mentor to have because he kind of taught me how to study the game. And Jimbo, of course, was the offensive coordinator at the time. And just they pretty much taught me how to be a college quarterback from a mental standpoint. You go from high school where you never have any meetings. You might have like a 30-minute meeting before practice and a walkthrough. But then you go and get dropped into college and you're meeting for 3, 4, 5 hours a day. It's kind of
it's taxing.
Turn into a job.
Yeah, it does turn into a job. It's hard to be a student athlete minus a student athlete minus a student part a lot of times.
Right.
But they taught Matt was a great leader on the LSU team, and man, what a big key he was to winning a national championship, the first one since 1958.
We were talking with Jacob about the 2007 team, and I asked him what his favorite story was. And I'm going to ask you that same question, but he told us a story. Y'all were down 10-0. You're on the sideline. He comes up to you, and you said, we're good. We're good. You had that confidence. Talk about that, just how you knew.
Ohio State?
No worries.
Yep. Yeah, we're down 10-0. Shouldn't have been. Yeah, I think we were that 2017 was uber confident to a point where it might have been stupid. We just always believed that we would win any game, no matter what the score was, no matter what happened. We just knew that if just give us the ball, our defense is going to make a stop. Give us the ball. There was never ever panic on that team because we just always truly believed, and that's something you can't fake either. We just truly believed because we were stubborn as hell, that we would win a game. So 10-0 against the Ohio State national championship game, we're just pissed. We're like, this is stupid. Let's just go out there and take care of business. But that just is, that kind of portrays our just team leadership. The mentality that we brought every single day in the off season, and kind of, and it doesn't happen without great leaders everywhere. We had a hierarchy of leadership on that team. Every position group had a bona fide leader in it. Receivers, running backs, tight ends. Every position group had leaders on it that held everybody in that room accountable. And then you go a little bit bigger picture. The offense had leaders, the defense had leaders on it that held everybody accountable. Mm-hmm. And then there's team leaders. So it's there was a hierarchy there of just everybody on the same page with the same mindset. And call it confident or dumb. We had it, and we just never believed we would lose, even though we did fall short in 2 triple overtimes that year. We think that we should have won those games, of course.
For sure.
I'm gonna call it champ status. I'm not gonna call it dumb.
Champ status. All right.
Yep.
Fair enough. I like it.
When you look at the landscape of college football right now, I don't think you have that one team where you just the championship got to go through them. I think it's kind of a toss up. I think we won't know who's who.
Yep.
Probably it's about week 5, week 6.
Yep.
In your mind, if we talk about the SEC, they got Georgia, Texas at the top.
Yeah.
And they got LSU kind of around the 3rd or 4th spot. And I can't understand why would LSU be at the bottom of Texas and Georgia when LSU has a starting quarterback that's returning.
Yeah, and it's a safe play, right? I know, and you know what? It's we were looking at it today or this morning. It's Georgia and Texas both have over under the win total at 10.5. I think they're the highest.
Bama.
But what a healthy place the SEC is in. How as great as it is in sports to have dominant figures and dominant teams, it's what makes that's made Tiger Woods great for so long. We like to watch dominant people do dominant things and make hard things look easy. But in college football and SEC, we're at a place now where there is not that one powerhouse that everybody fears.
Exactly.
Georgia's kind of come back down to the pack a little bit. Mm-hmm. Not that they're not any less well coached or anything, just a personnel standpoint.
Right.
And I think NIL has a lot to do with that. Transfer portal has a lot to do with that. Mm-hmm. Where at the beginning of all this craziness of the of the NIL world, everyone would fear that everything would be so top heavy, top like that. Only the big boys can afford to pay, this and that. I don't know if anybody anticipated the opposite happening, to where
I know I didn't.
it would help everybody from top to bottom. The middle of the road, the lower budget schools, they would still get guys because people were going there as like a proving ground to get to a bigger, like 5-star goes to, this is for example, 5-star goes to Georgia, doesn't play immediately, goes to a smaller school.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody is benefiting from it, and it's created a lot of parity in college football. And no matter what your thoughts are about, like you feel the old man on the lawn yelling at the pay for play stuff, which is fine because I kind of feel that way too. But it hasn't. You can't argue with a product that's on the field every Saturday. It's still a great product. The college football has never been better as far as football. They just gotta, hopefully they just find some way to.
Some guidelines.
Some sort of guidelines. I know they're trying, but they, in typical fashion, the NCAA did the right thing the wrong way when they just kind of open up the floodgates.
Mm-hmm. I want to ask you this question from a quarterback standpoint. When your offensive line is still having position battles, is it a little difficult because you don't know who your 5-man front is, or are you able to kind of just roll with the punches?
That's college football in general. I mean, you only get 4 years of eligibility. I guess if you get injured, COVID happens, you get a little bit more, but you got 4 years of eligibility, and then so every year you're having to revamp most things. We're actually kind of revamping less things than normal. Yeah. Now, it is pretty much an entire offensive line. You certainly want that, want the chemistry, and you want a unit to gel. You want to get used to blocking next to the guy that you're going to be blocking within the game, because the way you pass off ET and TE game, the way you pass off stunts and different blitzes and stuff, that is something you got to get. It's like a partnership with the guy next to you. But I will say, in the offensive line standpoint, it is pretty common. It's pretty uncommon if only 5 guys play in a game. There's always people coming in and rotating because of some guy, chin strap breaks or he gets nicked up and he's out for a couple series. So you always have to have 7 or 8 guys every single game that are ready to roll. And then you have rotating guys. Offensive line, more so than anyone on the field, there are so many backup plans on what to do. All right, because the coaches now, left tackle goes out, so-and-so goes to left tackle, so-and-so goes to guard. He comes off the bench and goes to center. Okay, same thing with the left guard goes out. Same thing. Okay, what if the right guard and left guard go out? There's a game plan in place more so than any position on the field because of just the susceptibility offensive lineman is to get those nicks and bruises and equipment malfunctions.
So I know you have your own business, Mile High, right?
Yeah.
And when T-Bob left and Jacob was trying to figure out who was going to be his new co-host, and he told me he didn't think he would be able to get you. What made you say yes, and how have you been loving it so far?
Yeah, so when he asked me first, I just laughed at him. I was like, there's no way. I've never wanted to do this full. I don't know if I've never wanted to, but that's never even crossed my mind that doing some sort of media gig full time was in the cards or something I would want to do or entertain doing. Because like I said, I started my business Mile High about 7 or 8 years ago. So we do hydration drink mixes. And so, man, I've been so hyper focused on that for so long. I got 3 kids, 9, 7, 5. So my days are pretty packed.
Yeah.
But then I started thinking about my wife and I started talking about potentially doing it. And it's something I was comfortable with first because I've been going on the show every week for 7 or 8 years with them, about once a week for an hour or two. But I was kind of just the guy that comes in and makes jokes and responds to what they say. When he asked me to do it, I started thinking about it with my wife. We're we started putting a pros and cons list together, and we couldn't really find any cons. If it wasn't the morning show, I couldn't do it because just my schedule throughout the day. Right now, I do the morning show, and I get to my office an hour and a half later than I used to get there. So, and the business is kind of at a point where I can be a little bit more hands-off. I don't really want to be, but I can be if I need to. But yeah, we're a month and a half into it. Other than waking up, abnormally early every day, it's been good, man. And I wouldn't have done it with anybody except for Jacob. So I mean, he's great. He's a professional. Like leading a show is not my strength. I'm not like the professional radio guy. It's hard to bring us in and out of break and doing all this stuff. And just like, the filler word, like you got to create, we got to fill a lot of space, right?
Oh, what?
But Jacob's, he's been doing it for a long time. He does it with National Sirius Radio. Like he's a pro at it. So he's definitely put the training wheels on for me for sure. But, hopefully I get more comfortable as we go.
How is it for us preparing for a show? Like, so for example, how you prepare as a quarterback? Mm-hmm. Is it some kind of similarities when you prepare for a show?
Nick Saban said
not as in depth, but you know what I mean.
I probably should do it a little bit more. I should probably prep a little bit more, and I will as we get closer to the season. I started the show on June 2nd on a Monday, and
it mixed Omaha.
Yeah, and I was like, look, it's called what it is. Y'all are hiring me for football stuff. Like it's a football community, it's a football school. We didn't know they were going to be making a run to Omaha. And I was like, man, I hadn't watched the pitch all year.
Right.
And I got to go in the morning, first radio show out the gate. And all these fans are, we got the best baseball fans in the country. So they're passionate and they're knowledgeable.
Right.
More knowledgeable than me, who's got the microphone. And I had to fake my way through baseball. I became a fan for a couple of weeks, but it was obvious.
I started wearing the baseball jersey.
That's right. Yeah, I wore a baseball jersey. We watched the game. We got into it, but there's only so much you can consume.
In a short
I was talking out my ass for sure.
I feel like that there's a lot of tough parts about that in media. Like there's a lot of things where you're like, kind of like out of my wheelhouse a little bit. You got to throw yourself into the fire. I wanted to ask you about this. We're talking about my eye. How important is it to you, in your opinion, to be able to have that life outside of football? Where you're not, your whole identity isn't just throwing the pigskin around.
Yeah,
you have a lot of things going on for you outside.
Yeah, well, shoot, man, I'm 10 years since I last played. 15 was my last year. With finished up with the Saints. Then. Been retired from football. I say I'm definitely not retired. Way more busy now than I ever was with playing football. But I think every year, that separation just naturally occurs. Every year you're out of it, right? But I started the company right after I got done, and it was my way of challenging myself to do something. But like I had this thought, and I had this need that I knew that my company could fill, stuff that I had learned in my days playing football, that the rest of the world, these different markets that we sell our product into did not have. They didn't have that knowledge. They didn't have that scientific hydration knowledge that a professional athlete had. So I was very passionate about that and still am very, very much. But it was a new, I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea. I didn't know how to go file for an LLC or I didn't know how to create a product. I didn't know how to do anything. Just kind of figured it out. But it was a way to be competitive. Like it's business, it's the ultimate competition out there. It's cutthroat, it's dog eat dog. But what we do as our company, we're focused on helping people. I'm not worried. I don't play the business game. It's like, look, I got a good product. It's clean, and we're not trying to sell you like snake oil here. We're trying to sell you something that works scientifically. Trying to legitimately help you. Just try to bring technology that I learned from a professional athlete standpoint and bring it to firefighters, military, first responders, disaster relief, all these industrial workers, hard hat employees, all these categories of people that need quality hydration. They just didn't have the knowledge, the accessibility to, the best dietitians in the world, the best doctors, the best trainers. So it's the knowledge that we brought to all those areas.
Who inspired you? Who did you look up to player-wise when you were young?
I grew up a Cowboy fan.
What a switch.
I'm from Tyler, Texas. So, it was that's what you were, right? Now, I didn't have a choice with that.
Right.
But of course, I grew up in Super Bowl parties. It was the 90s. So I loved watching Troy Aikman play. Loved watching Brett Favre play when I was growing up. I was so what's in front of my face. I never believed in a million years. I never even thought about I can go play in the NFL or I can go play college football. Things just happen. Even when I was in high school, I was like, wow, never even thought about I'd be good enough to go play at college until I started getting recruited and getting offers. And then college, I never thought I'd be good enough to go play in the pros until I got drafted, right? So it was just it it was never like one thing. It's like I look up to this guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to do what he does. I want to take that path. It was just, man, I was a kid, man. I was like see ball, hit ball. Like what was in front of me, I'm gonna go attack it. I was the ultimate like be where your feet are kind of kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just didn't know anything outside of Tyler, Texas. Didn't, just was ready to roll, man. But
What was your response? I was listening to you guys' show when y'all had Jimbo on about when Dooley came to watch you at practice, spring practice. He talked about your ankles too fat, and that's why they should recruit you. But then Jimbo ended up coming to see you himself, and he felt differently.
Yeah.
What was your response today when you found out Dooley didn't want to take you as a quarterback because of your ankles?
No, that's pretty. That classic Dooley. And you know what? He told me that story, and I think that I remember because it tickled a memory in my brain. I think I had heard that when I was in college and like kind of joking with Dooley about it. But man, what a funny story that was.
That's crazy.
Because I remember Saban and Jimbo coming to my high school in 2002 or something like that, and gave me a scholarship offer like right there. And but it's funny. I never heard the part where Saban had Jimbo call him. He's like, get Derek on the phone. He's like, don't ever recruit a quarterback again. Your evaluation sucks.
It's a random knock. Like, we're not talking about
Real random, right? Yeah, I know.
no arm strength.
And the way Jimbo told the story made it even funnier.
He's got fat ankles.
Yeah.
Right. So now Jacob calls me fat ankles. I think I got beautiful ankles. They're strong.
You got to get them back.
Yeah. Before we let you go, man, we about to hit you with Matt's favorite. So here we go, rapid fire. Favorite football player of all time.
I know it's supposed to be rapid fire. Good Lord. Let's go Barry Sanders.
All right. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite place to visit?
The mountains.
Anywhere in the mountains.
Yeah.
Smoke
I mean,
mountains.
no like specific place, but
Okay.
like I love going to the mountains and like fly fishing. I just love like mountain or beach. I'm mountains.
That's why you named your company Mile High?
My hydration, but yeah, we're getting high. Hydration. All right.
Favorite sneaker growing up?
No, favorite sneaker. Man, I was always kind of been a Nike guy. And we used to wear, when I was in elementary school, we used to wear Sambas. You ever heard of Sambas? Yeah, Sambas and Gazelles. And I think they were pretty much the same.
I heard of Samba, not Gazelles.
Yeah, it was like 3rd, 4th, 5th grade. Everybody had them. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
With ankle high gold toe socks, mid calf, white.
Okay.
Yep. Looked terrible.
When you was warming up for a game, what you had playing in the well, we didn't have beats back then.
Yep.
We had the iPods.
Yep.
What you was listening to? What artist?
The last song I listened to before every game from 2005 till the end of my playing career in 2015 was Audio Slave's Shadow on the Sun. Last song I listened to right before we went on the field.
Gotcha.
Listen to that one. What's hype? That one is like, as a quarterback, you can't like get too excited. Like you can't get too fired up because I used to do that in high school. I used to get like so fired up that I would like overthrow the first 3 passes of the game. So you had to like get excited, but you kind of like had to be controlled. Like that song right there will get you hyped if you feel it. But it's not like it's not like bang your head against the wall type of.
Oh, favorite movie of all time?
I got asked this yesterday. What did I say? I want to be consistent. Okay.
For sure.
Look, it's hard to go away from Gladiator.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. That's just one of those things that
Jacob said Cinderella.
no, he didn't.
He did.
He's joking with you.
He said he appreciated it more once he had kids.
He appreciates Cinderella more. Okay, fine. I mean, it's a good movie. I mean, he's a dummy if he said it's his favorite. Cinderella? Good Lord.
I said the same thing. Then once he broke it down to me, I understood a little more.
He broke down Cinderella?
Yeah, he broke it down.
Right, that's what your viewers came for sure.
Premium content.
Very premium.
Toughest opposing player you went against?
In high school, sophomore year, we played in Waco ISD Stadium in Waco, Texas. Played Derek Johnson, linebacker. Played at Texas.
Yep.
Played forever with the Chiefs.
Yep.
The best high school football player I've ever seen.
Tough. He was tough.
He was so good in high school. Can you imagine him in high school?
Yeah.
It was unfair.
Yeah, tough.
I was a sophomore too. I was just hit puberty a little bit ago. grew like 6 inches in like 6 months. I didn't know I had 2 left feet. No
coordination.
No coordination. That was terrible.
Derrick Johnson was a unicorn for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite receiver to throw to?
Jordy Nelson.
Shout
That's
out.
a good one.
Mm-hmm. Most underappreciated, underrated,
Yes.
talked about receiver in NFL history.
It's crazy too because the Packers in that second round, they got some magic going on.
Greg
They got
Jennings was
wide receivers, dog.
underappreciated too.
He was. I mean, that whole core was incredible.
Yeah.
But Jordy was just different.
Always over.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not saying like their games are so different.
Yeah, for sure.
But like Greg Jennings still gets talked. Like everybody gets talked about. They mean like 10 times someone brings up Jordy Nelson's name when you talk about those guys.
You're right. If you wasn't playing football, what you would have been doing with your life?
Oh man, I don't know. I was like, when I told y'all earlier, I was so like, what's in front of my face? Like I didn't know what I wanted to go to college for. I started out like, business degree sounds great until like those classes were hard.
Yeah.
And, like I just like when you go to college, like it's such a blessing for people that go to college or they're young people and they know what they want to do. That is such a blessing because most people don't.
You're right.
And so you go to college. I'm there to play football, right? But you have to have a degree. And I consider myself a pretty, fairly intelligent person for the most part. But like my grades weren't great because I was studying these BS classes that I didn't care about. Like I didn't know what my degree I wanted a degree in. So if there was something, if I was like I want to be pre-med or I want to be a lawyer, if I want to do this or that, like I would have attacked those classes. But that's I don't even know I can't remember what the question was. I don't know how I just started talking about my degree. But
so let's just say everybody in the country thought you had fat ankles and anyone off.
That's right. That's true. That's a good point.
So what is Matt Flynn doing?
I don't know. Tell my wife if I didn't meet her, I'd have been dead in a ditch somewhere. Probably.
You met her at LSU?
Met her at LSU. That's right.
You owe Jimbo a lot.
I do owe Jimbo a lot. He saved me. That's right.
Somebody in the chat saying they got Sambas on right now.
There you go. All right, they're still making them. Respect.
That's
You need an NIL deal.
I do. I need. Come on, give them to me.
We're gonna make a call. We're gonna make it happen.
Everything's making a comeback these days.
For sure.
It's something that don't need to be.
Yeah, history repeats itself.
And do.
I'm good with Sambas.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you coming on the show, bro.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Big fan of you and big fan of Jake.
For sure, man.
Keep doing your thing, bro.
For sure. Respect the hustle, man, and good luck to y'all.
Thank you, sir. We have to do this again.
Yeah, sounds good.
For sure, bro.
All right, guys.
Have a good time, man.